Egypt's Last Pharaoh by Sarah McCurry. Cleopatra was the final pharaoh in Egypt. Many people believe that Cleopatra was Egyptian, but in fact she was Macedonian Greek. She did not live in the days of pharaohs, but her countrymen wanted her, a descendant of Alexander the Great, to reinstitute the greatness of the Egyptian empire. They thought she and her 10-year-old brother, Ptolemy XIII, should be pharaohs. Cleopatra was born in 69 BC, and she was made queen with her brother when she was 18 and he was 10. She was strong-willed and ambitious and wanted to rule alone, without her brother Ptolemy XIII. The men who used him as a puppet. Ptolemy's bodyguards heard of Cleopatra's desire to rule alone without them and drove her out of Alexandria, Egypt. Cleopatra went to Syria, gathered an army, and returned to fight for her rightful place as queen. However, before she could do this, Julius Caesar of the great Roman Empire arrived at the palace in Alexandria and asked Ptolemy and these men to make peace with Cleopatra. Instead of making peace, they ordered soldiers to surround the palace and kill Cleopatra when she tried to come in. She heard of this trap and ordered a servant to roll her up in a rug and delivered her to Julius Caesar in the palace. This was successful, and she and Julius Caesar formed an alliance, fell in love, and were married. They fought a war in which her brother drowned in the Nile, and she became the queen of Egypt. A few years later, the Senate in Rome ordered Julius Caesar. He and Cleopatra had a son, but he was not mentioned as Julius Caesar's next ruler. Instead, leadership of Rome was given to a man named Mark Antony and Julius Caesar's nephew, Octavian. Mark Antony desired to rule together with Cleopatra, and the two fell in love and were married. They enjoyed their marriage very much, and Mark Antony began to give Cleopatra and their children parts of the Roman Empire. This threatened the Romans, and they declared war. They began to battle, and Mark Antony and Cleopatra were not winning. Then, during a sea battle, Cleopatra suddenly fled with some ships. This caused Mark Antony to abandon his men in battle and follow her, causing the men to lose this important battle. In time, he discovered where she was, but heard that she was dead. She was only pretending to be dead in order to save her kingdom. However, Mark Antony, not wanting to live a life without her, fell on his sword. This wounded him terribly, but he did not die right away. They brought him to Cleopatra, and he died in her presence. She did not want to live any more without Mark Antony, and later they found her lying dead on her bed. She was 39 years old when she died. For 21 years, she had been Egypt's last pharaoh.